side and I'ma stick with mine.
Today's video, I pretty much show how to set the gain on your amplifier. Here's a little clip of, kind of what we did today and, my end product, so hope you enjoy.
Alright, so now what I'm doing, I'm setting the treble, the mids, and the bass all in the middle. So, because whenever I set the gain on the amp, I want all this to be in the middle and I can adjust from there, but usually you don't want to, preferably you don't want to adjust this anymore unless the gain from the back isn't what you want to read, but you mostly want to do it all from the amp. Before setting the gains on the amp, you want to make sure you have your speakers disconnected, because you're usually going to run a 60 hertz, 50 hertz, 40 hertz soundtrack, and you don't want your speakers taking that beating continuously. A lot of people use regular songs. I don't think that's necessary. You can use the regular songs if you want, like what you're going to be listening to. Maybe that's a better way to set it, but if you can set the 50 hertz and 60 hertz and the 40 hertz, I feel like that's a better way. Sometimes when I tune it, I even drop it down to 35 hertz, even though I don't have a tuned 35 hertz box for that, but I just tune it to 35 hertz. So first, you want to, like I said, you want to disconnect your subs for sure. Because you don't want to take that beating. I disconnected that. You can leave your power and all that stuff hooked up. Of course, you're gonna need it to tune it. Oh, suck if I didn't have my multimeter. Here's the fun part. That's what I think. That's what I like doing. So you got your handy dandy multimeter, and then I don't know. I think I spent like 20 bucks on this. So you want to put your multimeter on alternating current. For you people that don't know what that is, that's AC. For you non-electric folks out there. So how you want to do this? You want to put your negative terminal, your negative lead. I'm sorry. And your negative terminal and positive lead and positive terminal. So you have that, and then you'll put your multimeter to alternating current. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on my car, turn it up. Usually before you do any of this, find a distortion point first thing first. Find a distortion point to where your mids and high speakers can handle. So usually in my Lexus, it's about 50. The volume, I put it up to 50. Sometimes a lot of people can only do about 30 or whatever. It just depends on if your head unit has a preamp built into it. If it has a preamp built into it, of course, you're not going to be able to turn it up as loud. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get in my car, turn it up to 50, since I already know that's my distortion point. Right before my distortion point for my car speakers, not my subs. Turn it up to that, play a 50 hertz, 40 hertz, 35 hertz soundtrack. Just kind of range it, see where it stands at. I got two Rocker Fosgate P2s. So what I'll be doing here, the two Rocker Fosgate P2s, dual voice coil, 2 ohms. So I have this Kenwood 8106D. It's pretty hot in Oklahoma, so it's pretty toasty right now. I have that running, like I said, the two P2s. They run 400 watts RMS a piece. So what I'm going to do, I use Ohm's law whenever I tune my subs. So what I'm going to do here, this amp here is capable of pushing 1,000 watts RMS. 1,000 watts, for you people that don't know, 1,000 watts RMS is the continuous power of what this can hold. A lot of people will see this 200 watts maximum wattage number and expect, oh, my amp can handle 2,000 watts on these subs, and my subs say they can handle 1,200. Well, you run that, you're gonna blow your shit up. I'm sorry. It's a little more to it than that. So here, what I'm gonna do is, I don't want to run the full 1,000 because my subs can't handle the full 1,000. Rocker Fosgate, their subs can be rated a little higher. So kind of what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna do 800 times 2, since each sub is 400 watts RMS. 400 plus 400 is 800, and I'm running them at 2 ohms, which is what this amp gives the max power at. So 800 times 2 is 1,600, and the square root of 1,600 is 40. So with these leads hooked up and I'm running AC, I'm gonna go to those tracks that I have, the 50 hertz, 40 hertz, 35 hertz, 60 hertz, whatever I choose to run them on. Run those run those tracks and tune this amp, tune my gain, input sensitivity, bass, all that. Usually you don't want to touch the bass too much. That's a big thing. But with this amp, I came to figure out that the bass is actually something that really gets it where it needs to be. Because if you don't touch the bass, it's really not going to move at all. So I'm going to adjust these things, low pass filter, all that type of stuff. Get that all, well, knock it all back down to 0, tune it accordingly, and then I'll show the kind of the end product right now. I mean, this amp's completely set at 0. It's just as if I got a brand new subsystem in here. Kind of like I explained earlier. So I'm setting the gain on this amp. Right now I'm playing a 50 hertz soundtrack. I'm sitting at about 34.9. The amp is already kind of preset prior to, so I just need to make some minor adjustments. Instead of making from the head unit, you don't want to make from the head unit when it comes to minor adjustments to this number. You want to do it from the amp because you can blow or bust your inside speakers, your mids and highs. So you don't want to mess with this number to get this to the 40 or whatever number you need, because like I said, you will mess up those speakers, and you want those speakers to play not really bass. You want them to get those vocals out. So as long as those stay vocals and this can stay to the beat and the sub, the boom boom that you need, that's really the only thing that matters. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust this to get, like I said, to the 40 that I need. Number right there. That's about what I want. If I turn it up, the number is gonna go down because it's not allowing all that through. Right here, I was messing with the low pass filter right there, just to get lower hertz on the amp. Rockford Fosgate, their stuff, their subs at least, they usually come with I think it's a CEA card. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me on it. That just shows what it can really run. Usually every place has what they say their subs can run, but some places actually take the extra step and truly test them, field test them, make sure that they're up to par. A lot of times they're higher rated. When they test them afterwards, they just better safe than sorry to tell you a little less than a little more. Right now, I mean, everything's all set. Get in the car, boom it some, listen to it, and kind of see what it sounds like now. So whatever you set at the songs, if you do the hertz, 40 hertz, 60 hertz, you're not gonna get the full potential out of your subs unless a lot of the music you listen to, it doesn't reach that requirement for hertz. You're not gonna ever get it. I just set my amp to 46 hertz. All the music I listen to, it doesn't go above 30. I can get an extra 10 out of that just by turning it up some to get my true power out of what the subs can handle. But it's just, you can set it to with your songs, your average songs, the highest frequency bass in that song, or the highest frequency, the hertz that you feel like is best for you. That's why usually I go with lower hertz, like at least 35 hertz. Sometimes I set it with that because a lot of songs these days, they average about 35 to 40 hertz. So I mean, this is kind of what you feel works for you, what works better for you. What makes your amp and everything get the full potential out of it.